Hey guys, Drew here. Just wanted to do a video on adjusting the gear mesh on the Vkar Bison. I think for a lot of people, since this car is a little on the lower end of the price scale, it's about $300. For a hobby grade RC, a lot of times these things can run $500, $600. And since this one's on the cheaper end of that a lot of people are getting it for maybe their first car, or in my case it was my second car. So there's a lot of new guys getting this as their first car and don't know how to work on it, don't know little things you got to do, maintenance and whatnot. But I had a guy comment on one of my videos on the Bison about gear mesh, so figured I'd put a video out, help him out, and maybe help some other people. But it's real easy on this Bison. I don't have a lot of adjustability because I put the span on here, but I can still show you what needs to be done. And it's only 2 screws. You pull this cap off right here so you can see your pinion gear, and then this screw right here is the mesh adjuster screw, and it's got a little spring on it. You can see it sticks up a little, but it's right on top, and you don't have to take anything off to get to it. So I'll show you how I do it. And I have stripped the spur gear out by not meshing it right, you know, my first time ever working on it, I did that. So it's important to get your mesh right, and I'll show you how I do it. So first you just take this cover off, get the screw in there. Sorry, the lighting's bad, it's kind of dark. Pull that screw out. You just pull this little cover off right here. So that's the cover. And then you can see your gear right there. Take another Allen key. Then you can just loosen this up. Right there, I loosen it up pretty loose. And with this the way this is designed to change the mesh, you actually rotate the motor. And I don't have a lot of rotation, that's all I got, but without this heat sink on there, you can rotate it in and out considerably. So the way I get it, and this has worked, it's important because this has a plastic spur gear, so it is important to get your mesh right, because if it's too loose or too tight, it'll ruin that spur gear pretty quick. But if you get it right, it seems to be fine. I've had no trouble with my spur gear stripping out when I had my mesh right. So anyway, what I do is right now it's as loose as I can get with the span on there, and it's still kind of on there. But what I'd like to do is tighten it down kind of to a too tight, you know, till it's snug against the gear. And then I'll just snug the screw up a little bit just to kind of keep it in place, and I'll show you why. Just kind of hold it, and then you can kind of try to roll the car, and you can feel it doesn't roll very good. It's binding up with the spur gear, so that's too tight. So I just loosen it a little bit. Then from here I just kind of back it off just little bits at a time until I think I just moved it just a little bit, tighten it back down. And I just kind of do this until the car feels like it wants to roll smoothly, pretty easily. Like now it's still a little too tight, I think, and it could wear out my spur gear, so I'll just back it off just another little notch. Just barely, like very little movements. Just back that off, tighten it back down. And that's getting better, I actually think. But that's probably good. Maybe I'll try backing it off just a little more. Barely, little notch. I could feel it move. You can't even see it, but when you're doing it, you can kind of feel the motor rotate a little bit. And that feels pretty good. Try to look in there. Let's see if I can see it. It's in there pretty good. Looks like the gears are meshing pretty nice. It's rolling smooth, there's no like hard spots, and that's what I want. So I think that's about it for doing mesh on the Bison, but it's the same. I do the same thing for my other cars too. Got my buggy here, and it's the same. This one's nice because you can actually see the mesh because everything's out in the open, but with this buggy you just undo the screw, and I do the same thing. I push the motor in until it's kind of tight, but you can kind of see it on this one, which is nice, until it doesn't roll very good, and then I'll back it off a little bit until everything rolls smooth, and you can see the mesh on that one pretty good, so I know that one's good. The Bison, it's a little more of a feel thing. If you really want to get a good look at it, you can take this bottom piece off and everything and get a little better look, but I don't think that's necessary. As long as you do what I said, tighten it down, you'll feel it be kind of hard to roll, and just back it off a little bit at a time until it feels like it's rolling smooth, but you feel the gear in there. You can feel each. Yep, and that's good. So that's just how I do it. Hopefully that'll help somebody. It's pretty easy. Oh yeah, tighten everything down. Put this back on. Honestly, you might not even need to remove the little cap. And I tighten the mesh screw pretty tight because you don't want that slipping, especially when I'm running 4S or something. I tighten it down about as hard as I can with this little Allen key at least, and that should be good. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helps somebody, and any questions or comments, just ask me in the comment section. Thanks.